See you guys. Let's come to a nice comfortable seat. And scoot forward in your chair a little bit. Let's give the shoulders a little out. Maybe notice how the shoulders, the neck are feeling here. And let's roll forward. Good, rolling back again. Then allow your shoulders to release back and down. You can take your hands on your thighs. Allow your eyelids to close. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And smooth, full, deep inhale. See if you can sip in a little more air. Sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. One more time, smooth, deep, full inhale. Sip in a little more air. Sigh the breath out, ha. And then sealing your lips, starting to inhale through your nose. And then also exhaling through your nose. Bringing your attention to that sound of your breath. So it becomes the most important thing. Everything else just drifts into the background here. Just observing what it feels like to be in your body at this moment. Maybe this is the first opportunity you've had today to sit still. And to be quiet, to check in. Bring your attention to your shoulders. Notice if they're starting to creep up around your ears. If that's the case, you just gently soften them down. So they're releasing towards your sit bones, which are pressing down into your chair. Good. From here, blink your eyes open. Release your arms down by your sides. As you inhale, take that left arm up and over, side bend to the right. Exhale, release down. Inhale, right arm comes up and over. Good. Exhale, release. And then we're just continuing like this, side to side, moving with your breath. So finding a little flow here, finding the sense of rhythm in your body. And gently opening up the side body here as we stretch side to side. Let's do a few more to each side. Maybe it feels like you're getting in a little deeper. Maybe you're not quite there yet. Really nice work. The next time you're leaning off to the right, just hang out there. Anchor a little more into that left sit bone. As you press there, stretch long through that left side body. You might be spinning your gaze up underneath that top arm if it feels okay to do so in the neck. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Good. Exhale, release that left arm down, and then inhale, right arm comes up and over. As you're reaching through those right fingertips, you're rooting down into that right sit bone. That anchoring is giving you that leverage you need to spin those left ribs up towards the ceiling. And then finally, you might be just bringing your gaze up underneath that top arm. That's kind of determined by how your neck is feeling today. Beautiful work. Deep inhale. And exhale, release down. Let's take our hands to our thighs and just move into some simple cat-cow here. So we've done the side-to-side stretching on the body. So now we're gonna find that flexion and extension of the spine. So as you exhale, you round in, chin drops towards chest. Inhaling, you're moving in the opposite direction. So big arch in your lower back. And again, just moving with your breath. So you're finding a pace that feels organic for you today. It's got that sweet spot. And paying attention to your spine, to how it's feeling. And just approaching this with this idea that there's no rush. Just taking your time to warm things up, to use your breath to help you open up space. A few more rounds here. Good. So complete this next round. Come back to a nice tall seat. You can peek down at your feet again. Just make sure that you're landing with your knees over your ankles, so feet are about hips distance apart. Pressing down evenly. Shoulder heads are gently pressing back. Shoulder blades are squeezing in towards each other. Hold on to all of that, but as you exhale, start to drop your chin towards your chest. Right away, the shoulders are going to want to help out because this can be quite intense. Back out a little bit if you need to, but move towards lengthening the back of the neck. Bring your attention to your breath, keeping it nice and steady and even. Good, let's inhale, lift the chin here. And then exhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. You're going to start to feel some stretch through that left side of your neck. And then the same thing. So if that left shoulder starts to creep up, if it starts to help out, soften down. Maybe you have to lift your head a little bit. So sometimes we have to do less. So stay like this, but just start to tuck your chin and notice how the sensation in that left shoulder, neck, scapula area begins to feel a little different. If you'd like to release your left fingertips off your thigh, it's almost like you're using your arm as a weight. You can play with that. Certainly, if it feels like too much, you just place your hand back on your thigh. Finally, if you'd like to take your right hand gently to the top of your head, and you can kind of just apply a little pressure there, and then maybe even gently kind of roll forward. Again, you're just being very mindful. You're listening to your body. You're doing less if you need to. You're skipping variations if you need to. And let's take our left hand back to our thigh. If it's still releasing down towards the floor, let's all use our right hand and the strength of our arm to lift the head. And before we go to the second side, let's go ahead and just release the chin towards the chest again. Maybe it's feeling different. Maybe it's not. You're noticing. Good. Inhale, lift your chin. And then exhale. Left ear towards left shoulder. Let both shoulder blades release down your back. Send your exhale to this right side of your neck. Just visualize it creating a little space, a little ease. And do less if you need to. From here, start to tuck your chin, observing where you start to feel the stretch. Just noticing how it shifts. If this feels like enough, you stay here. If you'd like to release your right fingertips down, see how that is. It's just like you're giving yourself a little weight. So it might intensify things ever so gently. Finally, if you'd like to take your left hand on top of your head, kind of just give a little weight and then maybe gently release forward as well. Right hand can return to your thigh. You're going to use the strength of your left arm to help upright your head. Good. Let's release the arms down again. Give the shoulders another little wiggle out. All right. So let's move into some sun salutes. If you do have blocks, you can use those on either side of your feet. If you like that variation, not necessary. All right. So just check in with your setup again. Feel your sit bones press down into your chair. Peek forward. Make sure that your knees are over your ankles. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Release your arms down by your sides. Inhale, you can reach out and up or forward and up. Take up space here. Maybe gaze up as palms press. And then as you exhale, there's a couple options here. You can swan dive in, or maybe you use your hands to help you roll all the way down. Chin releases towards chest. From here, this is where you might take your hands to blocks. It's like bringing the floor closer. Hands could come to shins or thighs as well. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold back in. And then inhale, you can use your hands to help you roll up, or you can reverse swan dive out. Coming back into that extended mountain pose. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching up, Utthita Hastasana into Dasana. Exhale, fold into your Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Good, exhale, fold in. And then rooting down. Good, rising up. As you exhale, hands come together at heart center. Let's do one more like that. Inhaling, reaching. Good, exhale, folding in. Listening to your breath, letting it be your soundtrack here. As you inhale, you extend forward. Exhale, fold back in. Rooting down into your sit bones, your feet to help you take space as you rise all the way up. Good, as you exhale, hands return to heart center. So let's add on a little bit. So can kind of continue with that. a little flow, but we're going to add a crescent pose into this as well, and some forward folding longer holds. So you can keep your legs exactly as they are. If you'd like to extend your left leg to straight, you can also experiment with that. Arms release down by your sides. Inhale, arms reach out and up. And then here a few times, let's cactus our arms as we exhale. Good. Inhale, like you're moving through molasses, reach back up. Exhale. Good. Inhale, stretch up. Good. Exhale, stay here. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Good. Inhale, come to center. Take an exhale here. And then inhale, stretch those arms back up. And then we're going to exhale, forward fold again. So you can swan dive in, or you can use your hands on your thighs. And then let's take a few breaths here. So you can let your chin drop towards your chest. If that left leg is extended, you're probably feeling a nice little hamstring stretch, a little glute stretch. You might even be feeling this in the Achilles heel, in that calf muscle. All right, so from here, let's come into that Ardha Uttanasana. So hands pressing onto those blocks. So your hands could be pressing on your thighs too. Think a little cobra pose in your upper body, kind of just gazing forward. Can you find this idea of left hip drawing back, right hip coming forward? So both hip bones are facing forward. Breath is smooth and steady. All right, so we're going to exhale, fold in again. And this time you're going to play with this. It might not work for all of us. So you could extend your fingertips back. A few of us might be able to interlace the fingers and then start to draw the wrists forward. So that's going to be a pretty intense shoulder stretch. It's going to be a little bit of a balance pose as well. You might even find that it intensifies the stretch in that left hamstring. You can almost think of this as a humble warrior pose. And of course, as always, you can try the different variations, and if they're not working, you just go back to a place that feels good and manageable in your body. All right, so whether you're interlacing your fingers or reaching your arms back, go ahead and release them back down to your blocks. Or again, your hand could be on your thigh. Let's keep our left hand on block or thigh. Bring your right hand to your hip. Good, and then we're going to start to twist to the right. Can you feel your shoulder blades squeezing in towards each other here? If you wanted to reach that right arm up or just back, you can play with that. It's almost like your shoulder blades are stacking on top of each other here. It's kind of like a triangle pose in the upper body. Let's take one more deep inhale. Really lovely. As you exhale, go ahead and unwind. Fold all the way in one more time. Chin towards chest. And then let's keep rounding in like this to roll on up. So you start to stack the vertebrae on top of each other. As you come to a nice tall seat, might get a little head rush coming out of that. Beautiful work. And then we'll take that sequence to the second side. So if your left leg is extended, you can go ahead and bend it. And just know, going to the second side, it might look a little different in your body. Things might be feeling different, so that's okay. So you can always just stay here in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. If you would like to extend that right leg forward, you can do that. So both hip bones are facing forward, legs are about hips distance apart. Arms release down by your sides. Inhale, we rise up into our crescent pose. Maybe gaze up, maybe press palms. And then exhale, we cactus those arms. So feel that stretch and openness across the heart and chest. Inhale, give yourself a little resistance as you press up. Beautiful. As you exhale, pull down. Good. Inhale, stretching up. Good. Exhale, pull down. We're going to take an inhale, stay here. Exhale, twist to the left. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Good. And then we're going to inhale, stretch the arms up. Beautiful. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold in. So getting this nice hamstring stretch in that right leg, if it is extended. Also getting that stretch, trying to lengthen through both sides of the waist. Breath is smooth and steady. From here, your hands can press into your blocks or to your thighs. So we come into this like halfway stretch. This Ardha Uttanasana, potentially with that right leg extended forward. You could even think of this as like our Ardha Hanumanasana, our half splits pose. Maybe you're asking yourself, how does this side feel different than the other side? All right, so we fold back in again. Staying here, or once again, with that option to reach your arms back by your sides, maybe lifting the shoulder heads, trying to feel that stretch. Perhaps interlacing your fingers. Go the opposite way if you can remember, so the way that feels a little funny. And then perhaps you start to extend your wrists forward any amount, just to intensify things a little bit. Keep that breath moving. In fact, send that breath to any places where this pose feels a little extra challenging. Let's take one more deep inhale. Good. You can start to release your hands down. Let's fold in here. Couple of breaths. And then press your hands into those blocks. So find that extension and we move towards our twist. So you're going to keep pressing into this right hand on block or thigh. Left hand comes to your hip. And then you start to wrap those right ribs to the left. You can keep your hand where it's at. You're just kind of finding a little leverage to open up that left shoulder. If you wanted to reach the arm up, it's like you have giant wings here. So shoulder blades stack on top of each other. These look great, guys. You might be spinning your gaze up slightly. Let's take one more deep inhale. Exhale, go ahead, unwind, folding in. Chin releasing towards chest. Surrounding a lot in your spine. And then slowly keeping that rounding in the spine as you come all the way up to your seat. So vertebrae stack on top of each other. You have that right leg extended. You can bend that knee. Really nice. Coming back to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Couple of breaths here, just observing how you feel. Good. Let's release our arms down by our sides. Good. Inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Bring that right arm on top. Good. So a few times here, let's just inhale, lift the elbows, keep the spine nice and even, and then exhale, elbows release down. Inhaling, lifting. Good. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbows release down. So this time, let's add the spine to the work. So it's like doing a cat-cow with these eagle arms. So inhaling, you might rock forward on your sit bones. And then exhale, you rock back, you round in, chin towards chest. Inhaling, it's a bigger movement. Exhale, round in. One more, inhaling, lifting. Good, exhale, round in. And then this time, just inhale, come to a nice tall spine. Good. Next inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, twist to the right. And then go ahead and release your hands down. So that left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh. It might be on that left thigh. You can grab a piece of chair behind you with that right hand. You're finding a little leverage to press your shoulder heads back. Sitting nice and tall, even as you're wrapping your left ribs to the right. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, unwind, come to center. You can release your arms by your sides. Good. Inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, give yourself that hug, left arm on top. All right, so keeping the spine nice and even. We're just doing this, working the arms. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, they drop down. Kind of like you're just warming up those shoulder blades. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, they release down. Inhale, lift. Good, exhale, release. And then just go ahead and find center. And then this time as we inhale, we exaggerate the movement. We get into the spine too. It's like doing a cat-cow with eagle arms. Exhale, round in. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, rounding in. Good. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, round in. Inhale, come back to a nice tall seat. Good. Next inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, twist to the left, really reach out, and then release your hands down. So right hand will come either to that left thigh or right thigh. Left hand is grabbing the back of your chair. You're finding a little leverage with your hands to help press your shoulder heads back. Your sternum is lifting even as your right ribs are wrapping to the left. How does this side feel as compared to the other side? Deep inhale. Good. Exhale, unwind. Come to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And let's just get into the hips a little bit here. So option one would be to cross your right ankle above your left knee and take your right hand, gently press down. If that's not in the cards today, you can find that warrior two legs. So opening that right hip any amount. And then if you feel like you need a little more, you can press your right hand into your right thigh. It's like you're pressing back behind you. I'm just taking several breaths here. And then if this stretch is feeling good, if it's feeling like enough, you can just stay here. If you would like to, start to hinge forward and fold in. And you're welcome to do that. If you've got those blocks, you can walk them as far forward as feels good. You could use a wall or a chair in front of you. You could even play with finding a little extension through the sides of your waist, so maybe gazing forward for a few breaths, like an Ardha Uttanasana with this hip stretch. And then maybe you allow yourself to really round in, chin releasing towards chest. Good. And then if you're on those blocks, you might have to walk your hands in a little bit. You can take them to your thighs to help press yourself up. Good work. So we'll take our second side, which may look different than the first side. So we're finding some kind of hip stretch, hip opening here. Whether you are opening up that left leg on the floor, like a warrior two leg, or crossing left ankle above right knee, they're both good. And you can apply pressure with your hand as needed. Hips are really tight, so sometimes we don't need that. Side to side, things can be quite different. If this is plenty, you just stay here upright. That works. If you feel like you'd like to hinge forward and fold in any amount, and maybe using blocks or a prop in front of you, and perhaps just extending through the sides of your waist for a few breaths here, seeing what that feels like, noticing where you get sensation. And then if you'd like to take a few breaths, just rounding in. How does that feel? All right, so you're gonna start to make your way up. You can use your hands to help you roll on up. Good work. Come back to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Close your eyes if they're not already. And just notice what it feels like to sit here simply. After having created some space in our bodies. And let's move into our three-part breath, our Viloma I breath. So holding the retentions on the inhale. So let's all take a nice deep inhale here together. Full, complete exhale. Completely empty out. Inhale 1/3 of the way. Pause. Inhale another 1/3 of the way. Pause the breath. Inhale all the way up underneath your collarbones. And then slowly exhale the air out through your nose. When you get to the bottom of that breath, go ahead and just take a couple rounds of recovery breath. Smooth, full, deep inhale through your nose. Full, complete exhale. Inhale 1/3 of the way up. Pause. Inhale another 1/3 of the way up. Pause the breath. Inhale all the way up underneath your collarbone. And then exhale the air out through your nose. Couple recovery breaths. Okay, let's do one more round together like that. So smooth, full, deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. Emptying out. And then inhale 1/3 of the way up. Inhale another 1/3 of the way up. Inhale all the way up underneath your collarbones. And slowly exhale the air out through your nose. And allowing your breath to find its own natural rhythm as we move into final resting pose, Shavasana. So you're probably going to stay where you're at, but you're welcome to take a forward fold with a prop, like a supported child's pose. You're always welcome to come into classic Shavasana on the floor. Give yourself permission here not to worry about anything just yet. Give yourself permission to soak up the stillness. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma joy gamaya. Mrityo ma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Let your next inhale be deeper. And open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. Start to circle ankles, wrists, wiggle fingers, toes, stretch out. So just finding any movement that feels good in your body. And you'll eventually land with your hands in a pile on top of your heart. Send yourself love and gratitude for making the effort, for showing up. Send each other love and gratitude for the support, community. And finally, just promise yourself you're going to carry this good feeling with you into the rest of the day, week, weekend ahead. Finally, just bow your head with a smile. Thank you so much. Happy spring.